Hello there. Welcome to Introductory Financial Accounting Info. This is the paper that we want to look at today. That is the paper for November 2022. So this is what we want to look at. So that question paper, we're going to look at the first question of that question paper, whereby we have to prepare a wages dollar. So this is the question one that we want to look at. And the question one reads, uh, use the following information. Use the following information and complete the wages journal. And complete the wages journal there of the electronics kitchen appliances for the month of June 2019. So this is the information that we have there. And then on note, we are being emphasized that all calculations must be rounded up to the nearest rand and close off the dollar. So very important to take note in terms of this instruction that we need to round off to the nearest rand or answers that we are going to come after making calculations. If there are commas that are there, we've got some decimal places that are coming after, we have to round off to the nearest rand. So basically, this is the whole number. So this is what we have. Then on the information part, we have got normal hours, 40 hours for a week consisting of 5 days. So what it means is we have 40 hours per week, and then we've got 5 days. So what it means for daily, on daily basis per day, it means we've got 40, which is per week divided by the 5 days per, that are there. And then if you say 5 into 8, so 5 into 40 there, you're going to get 8 hours per day. So this is what we have, 8 hours per day. So this is going to help us to calculate the overtime that has been worked, because we now know that normal time is 8 hours. Then second point, Joshua worked on Monday 8 hours, Tuesday 10 hours, Wednesday 13 hours, uh, Thursday there 16 hours, and on Friday he arranged with this supervisor to use the days as overtime for Friday, because he had to accompany his son to his school's extra moral activities. And we are in the brackets, we are being told that 32 rands per hour for normal time is the rate, and then 48 rands per hour for overtime. So very important. So we would see that these rates are only applying to Joshua. They are only applying to Joshua. Then on the second part, we have got Joseph. It means Joseph has his own rate there. On the second part, Joseph went on Monday 10 hours, on Tuesday 9 hours, Wednesday 6 hours, and Thursday 8 hours. On Friday, he was involved in a car accident on his way to work and reported to his supervisor. And then in the brackets, the rate now 28 rands per hour, normal time, and 42 rands per hour overtime. Then we have got the deductions that we are given there. Uh, we have got a table given. Then lastly, we have got employer contribution in terms of how are we going to calculate in terms of pension fund and UIF. So this is what we have. So here we want to prepare a wages law now. So if you come here, you see that the wages journal that we have is this one. So we've got the wages journal for Jacob's Electronics, kitchen for the year, for the year, for the week ended. It's going this side. You see that it's a long one. There, it's going that side, starting here. So it's for the week ending 28th February 2019. So this is what we have in terms of the wages journal. So we are going to start here. We have for normal time, for the column for tariff hour amount, then also have overtime. So what does it mean? It means that we need to identify the number of hours of normal time and the number of hours of overtime for each of the two, which is Joshua and Joseph. So if you come here, we let's start by Joseph and try to identify the what exactly is there in terms of the normal hours and overtime. Let's try to see what we have there. So we can remove this so that we create space here. So now we want to concentrate on Joshua. So we are on Joshua. So we are saying Monday, Tuesday, and then we've got Wednesday and Thursday, and then we've got Friday. So for this, we are going to have normal time, we are going to have normal time and overtime. Normal time and overtime. The same applies here. We put normal time there. We've got normal time and overtime. The same here, normal and overtime. So for Monday, we are saying we are told that Joshua worked 8 hours, and we know that we have 8 hours per day. So it means all the normal hours we are working, so there's no overtime on Monday. So we are saying here normal time is 8 hours, then overtime there's nothing. Then on Tuesday, 10 hours. So what does it mean? Normal time is 8 hours. So our 8 hours, we have our 8 hours, then the remainder becomes overtime. 10 minus 8, we have 2. So overtime, we have 2. Then we go to Wednesday. Wednesday, 13 hours. What does it mean? Normal time should be 8. And then we say 13 minus 5, we get 13 minus 8, we get our 5 here. So 5 overtime. Then on Thursday, we are told that 16 hours were worked. But then on Friday, he arranged this supervisor to use the Thursday's overtime for Friday. So what does it mean? If we take 8 hours on Thursday, the remainder 8, according to the instruction, is that the remainder 8 give you to Friday normal time. So we are putting it here. So if you say 8 plus 8 becomes 16, so we don't have any overtime then. So this is what we have. So on normal time now, total normal time. So we can now say total, our total normal time now for Joshua. We are now saying 1, 2. We have got 8 hours per day for the 5 days. So 8 times 5 we get 40. So we have got 40 hours. Then for overtime, we are saying we have got 2 here. And we have got also 5 here. So we are saying 2 plus 5, then we get our 7. So for overtime, we've got our 7. So basically, we can just go there and enter this amount in terms of normal time, 40 hours, overtime, 7 hours. Then we can take note of the rate that on normal time, the rate is 32 rand per hour. Then for overtime, we've got 48 rands per hour. So we go there to the answer section. Right, on the other section, the tariff for normal for Joshua, remember, we have 32. And then for overtime, that tariff, if you take very well, is 48. We have 48 here. Then in terms of number of hours, the number of hours that we have found for normal, we said 40. And then the number of hours that we found for overtime was 7. So this is what we have. So for amount now, this becomes the total amount. We are now saying 32 times 40. The answer that you are going to get there is 1,280. The same year, we are saying 48 times 7. The answer that you are supposed to get there, let's try to verify there. 48 times 7. You are going to get 336. So we have 336 there as an amount. So this is what we have. So we can just now go to gross wage. Gross wage, you know that to find gross wage, we are saying gross wage, we are saying no more time, no more amount plus the overtime amount. So we are just adding these figures that we have 1,280 plus 336. Then the total that we are supposed to get here is 1,616. 1,616. Then for pension, we are now on deduction. This section, remember this that section that we are using there. Now the section for deduction. These are deductions: pension fund, medical aid, pay, which is pay as you earn, then UIF, then we add the total of the deduction there. So we can just put it here. And our pension fund, we go to the instruction, to the question according to how we should calculate the pension fund. It's given there in terms of how we should calculate that pension fund. So if you come here, pension fund is here, 7.5% of normal wage. 7.5% of normal wage. So 7.5% is a decimal. 7.5% is a decimal. We are saying 7.5 over 100. So as a decimal becomes 7.075. Then we multiply by the figure for normal wage. So if you come there, you see that the normal wage for Joshua, let's just recheck there. The total that we got for normal wage is here. 1,280. So it means we are multiplying by 1,280. We are multiplying by 1,280 there. 1,280, then we get our pension fund. So if you multiply correctly there, you get 96. So 96 is our pension fund. So you can just go there and put that one, 90, 96. Then for medical aid again, we go there to check what we have in terms of the instruction of medical aid. Medical aid is saying 178 rands for the member and 139 for each dependent. So if you come to Joshua, Joshua is 3 dependents, and 3 dependents are being said, so this one is linking to this 3 times 139. Then obviously the member is only Joshua 1%, so 178 plus the product of 3 times 139. So basically what we are saying is 178 for the member plus for the dependents is 3 times 139. So let's see if you calculate that correctly there, we are going to get 595. So this is what we have. So we can just go there and put our 595. 595 medical aid. 595. Then we've got pay. This is our pay name. Then we go there to check how should we calculate it. Pay is given there as 20% of gross wage after pension has been taken into account. 10% of gross wage after pension has been taken into account. So what does it mean? We are going to the figure for gross wage. We subtract pension. And then the answer that we get now is multiplied by 10%, which is 0.2 as a decimal. So you can go and check those figures. There, our gross wage is here 1,616. Then our pension is 96. So we're going to say 1,616 minus 96. The answer that we get, we multiply by 10%. So what are we saying? What are we saying there? Let's just create some space there. We can just create some space there. So this is, so we can just maybe recheck again in terms of the figures that we are using there. We are saying 1,616 for gross wage minus pension 96. Then the answer we multiply by the percentage that we are given there. So we are saying 1,616 minus our 96. Then the answer that we get here, we multiply by the 20% now, which is our 20 over 100. Yes, the decimal is 0.02. Then you see what we get there. So if you multiply it correctly, you are going to get your 304. 304. That is your pay as you earn. So we can just go and put that one 304. We have 304. Then our UIF again, we go and check what we have in terms of UIF. So for UIF now, we are told that 1% of normal wage. 1% of normal wage. So let's go and check what we have in terms of normal wage. What do we have in terms of normal wage? Our normal wage, remember, it's 1,280. It's saying 1%, so we're multiplying 1,280 times 1%. So what are we saying? We are saying 1,000. Just maybe create some space there. We are saying 1,280 is the normal wage there. We are saying 1% of normal wage. Then we multiply by 1%, which is 0.01 is a decimal. Then if you calculate it correctly, you are going to get 12.8. But this is the decimal. Remember, there's an instruction that is there in terms of how should we treat these decimals. We come here, check the instruction that we are given at the beginning of the question that all calculations must be rounded off to the nearest rand. So we round off that figure because it's a comma. To the nearest rand. What are we saying? We are saying we are coming here where we have our 12, our 2 here. Then we check the number behind the 8. It's going to, since the range 5 to 9, so it's going to change our 2 become 3, so then it becomes 18. So this is what we have in terms of our last part of of UIF. So we have got 13 there. We're going to put our 13 for UIF. So we've got 13 here. Now the total for deductions, now we are now adding from pension fund to UIF, 96 plus 795 plus 304 plus 13. Then you get the answer that you are supposed to get there is 1008. 1008. So this is what we have. And then we have got our, let's try to see, we now have the last part there, which is the net wage. The last part, which is the net wage. So to find our net wage, net wage is equal to our gross wage minus deductions. Gross wage minus deductions. Gross wage minus deductions is the formula that we use to find our net wage. So this is our net wage. So if you go back now to the figures that we calculated there, see that our gross wage there is 1,616. Then you subtract 1,008 to get your net wage here. So if you do that, you are going to get 608. 608. So the answer that we have there is 600. 608. So this is our net wage. So this is what we have in terms of the first worker there, which is Joshua. So we can go to the next one. The next one that we have is Joseph. So we can check on Joseph now what actually is required there. You can go back and check on the information that we are given. So Joseph is on the second point. It reads that Joseph worked on Monday 10 hours, on Tuesday 9 hours, Wednesday 6 hours, and Thursday 8 hours. On Friday, he was involved in a car accident on his way to work and reported to his supervisor. And then we are given that 28 runs per hour for normal time and 42 runs per hour for overtime. So we need to identify again the terms of the overtimes that are involved there so that we can be able to calculate easily. So we are going to go from Monday to Friday. We know that the information that we are given at the beginning, that 8 hours per day. We have got 8 hours per day. So we check again on Monday for Joseph, 10 hours. So it means that we have got 8 normal, and then I will say 10 minus 8 to get 2 for overtime. Then for Tuesday, 9 hours. So we have got 8 normal and 1 for overtime. Then on Wednesday, we have got 13 hours. Sorry, on Wednesday we have got 6 hours. So it means our normal is 8. So this one is actually below the normal. So we are going to take all what we have on Wednesday and put it on normal. Normal S6. It means there's no overtime. And then on Thursday, 8 hours. We have 8 hours normal time, and then 8 hours we wait. So it means no overtime. 8. And then on we are now on Thursday. Then on Friday, he was involved in a car accident on his way to work and reported to his supervisor. So since this person reported to supervisor, it means that this day for Friday, this person is going to be paid because it's a sick day. So we are not going to remove the 8 hours. So we are going to put the 8 hours there. We have the 8 hours there, but we don't have any overtime. So what it means is for normal time, we are saying 8 plus 8, 16. This is now our normal. Normal is here 8 plus 8, 16 plus 8. You get your 24. 24, you add another 8. You are going to get your 32, 32, 36. You're going to get 38. So normal time, we have 38. Then for overtime, we only have 2 and 1, which means we have got 3 hours. So this is what we have. And also we can take note of the rates now. 28 runs per hour for normal, and then 42 per overtime. So we are just going to put those figures there. Remember here we are saying for our tariff for normal for Joseph, we are given a 28. And then for overtime, we can just go back there and cross check in terms of overtime. It's here 48. Overtime we are given is 48 there. So we can go and put our 48 there for overtime tariff. Let's just recheck there. Are we on the no, we are here. Sorry, we are here. So it's 42. We are taking 2042. So we come here. We have 42 here, 42. And then for uh, our per hour, in terms of the rate per hour now, we are saying normal time. We are given 38. Normal per hour, we are given 38. Let's just maybe try to see if they are. So a number of hours here, we have 38 for normal time, then we have got 3 for overtime. So this is what we have. So we are going to say 28 plus 38, we are going to get 1,064 is the amount. Then here 42 times 3, you get 126. So this is what we have. So for gross wage now, for gross wage, we are now adding this one plus this one, 1,064 plus 126. Then you get your gross wage here, which is 1,190. 1,190. We can just maybe try to cross check if that figure is correct. We are saying 1,064, and then we add our 136. 1,190 is the correct figure. Then for pension, we go again back to check the instruction in terms of pension. Check the instruction according to pension. If you go down there, that's where we have the instruction on the table. Pension, they're saying 7.5% of normal wage. 7.5% of normal wage. So we are just going there to check the normal wage that we have. Then we multiply by 7.5%, which is 0.075 there. So remember, 7.5% is a decimal. We said it's 0.075. You multiply by the figure for normal wage. So for Joseph, normal wage is here 1,064. So we are multiplying by 1,064. We are multiplying by 1,064 here. So if you multiply correctly there, you're going to get 0.075 times 1,064. You're supposed to get 80. So 80 is going to be our pension. 80 is going to be our pension. So it means here we've got our 80. And now we can go to check what we have in terms of the next one, which is the medical aid. The next one is medical aid. Then on medical aid, we are told that 178 was made by 179 for each dependent. This one has got 4 dependents. So what are we going to do? There we are going to say 178 for the member. And then we add for the dependents, there are 4 dependents that are there. So we're saying 4 times the 139 per dependent. And then we calculate there the one that you are, the figure that you are supposed to get there, 734. Then you get 734. Then you're going to put it on medical aid. So 734. Then for pay, remember pay is saying 20% of gross wage after pension fund. So we are saying gross wage that we have for Joseph minus the pension fund. The answer that is getting more than 0.2. So we can just maybe check the figures that we have there. So before we check the figures, we can just create space here. Right, on the figures, we are saying the gross wage is 1,190 minus 80. Then the answer we multiply by 10%. 1,190 minus 80. So here we are saying it's 1,190 minus 80. Then the answer that we get, we multiply by 0.2, which is our 20%. Then the answer that we get there, is 222. 222. So all answers that is to be rounded off to the nearest one number, we are going to round them. So remember, we are rounding up to the nearest rand. So it means it's to the nearest whole number. So this is what we have. So the next one, let's check the next one that we have there. We have got 22, 22, 222. Sorry, it's 222. Here we've got 222. So we can just go in and input that one. Here, 222. So the next one is UIF, and UIF is saying 1% of normal wage. So let's check our normal wage. 1% of normal wage, and then our normal wage there is 1,064. Then we multiply by 1%, which is 0.01. So the answer that we are supposed to get there for UIF, we're going to get 11. 11. Right. So we now add deductions 1,190 plus 80 plus 734 here plus 222 plus 11. So the answer that you get there is 1,047. 1,047. And then net wage, we are now saying gross wage. We are now saying our gross wage. We subtract gross wage, we subtract zero deductions. So we are saying 1,190 minus 1,047. The answer that you are supposed to get there is, let's try to see the actual answer that we have there. We've got 1,190. Then we subtract 1,047. We are supposed to get 143. 143 is our net wage. Then we can put our totals here, starting from our pension fund. You add here 96. We are starting from our, we can start from our gross wage here. We add 1,716 plus 1,190, then we get the total for gross wage, which is 2,806. Then we add this 96 plus 80 there, get 176. We add here 595 plus 734, I get 1,329. We add this one on payee, you don't get 526. UIF total 24. Then total for the totals, the total that we get down there 2,055. Net wage from there we get 751. So this is what we have in terms of the wage journal that we have here, and also we have a section that we need to fill in, that is here for the employer's contribution. Employer's contribution. So we also have instructions that we are given there in terms of employer's contribution. It's here. The first one is saying pension funds 80% of the contribution of the employee. 80% of the contribution of the employee. So you come here for pension funds, we are saying for Joshua, pension funds. Remember, we have 96 for Joshua, then for Joseph we have 80, and they are saying 80%. So what are we supposed to do now? Here we are saying 80%. 80% is a decimal, it's 0.8. So we are saying for Joshua. So let's just indicate here that is for Joshua. So for Joshua, we're saying 80% is a decimal, 0.8. Then we multiply by the pension fund that we have for Joshua, there 96. So if we multiply that, the answer that we are supposed to get there is 77. Then for Joseph, we are also saying 0.8 times the figure that we have for Joseph 80. Then we get 64. So we can just enter those figures there. 77 and 64. 77 and 64. So we have our 77 and 64. And for UIF, we go back there to see what is the instruction, 1% of normal wage, which is the same as UIF for the employee. So it means the amount that we are having here is the same amount that we are putting here. So we're just going to pick the amounts that we are given there, that we calculated in the wages drawn out there. So we go there, check those figures, and put them there, Joshua and Joseph. For UIF, we see that for UIF we've got 13 here and 11. So we're just going to put those figures 18 and 11. So we put 13 and 11 here. We have put 13, and then we have put 11. Then we also need to add the totals. If you add the total here, 77 plus 64, again, we're going to get 141. 13 plus 11, you get 24. Then we also add the total of this direction, 77 plus 13, you get 90. 64 plus 11, you get 75. And then we add 141 plus 24, you get 165. So this is what we have. So this is what we have in terms of employer's contribution. So this marks the end of our question. Let's meet again in the next video. Those who haven't subscribed, please subscribe and share. We'll meet again in the next video with more videos. Let's stay tuned and notified as for this video. I'm signing out.